Hello, good evening. I don't have to introduce this occasion because we all know why we're here, and an opportunity to ask Julian Barnes, the winner of this year's Man Booker Prize, things about the writing of it, the book, and in a sense, within reason, whatever you want to ask. So who's going to ask the first question? Okay, well, hands up. Could you say, it would be useful for everybody to know who you are when you ask a question? Okay, we'll start on the right.
So Mark Brown from The Guardian. So Julian, congratulations. Are you happy that your book has been deemed readable and that it zips along?
I think the readability thing is a sort of false hair, really. That's the great cliche. I mean, most great books are readable. I don't say I've written a great book, but when you go through, the great canon, there are very few until you get to Finnegan's Wake that you would actually call unreadable, I'd say. So I think I think any short list of the last 10 years that I've read has contained nothing but readable books.
Next question.
Ben Hoyle from The Times. Are you happy that it's this book that's won? Where do you think this book stands in the canon of your novels?
I think this is the best novel I've written in the last 5 years. And certainly the best I've published in the last 12 months. I don't sort of look at, as soon as you hear canon, let alone that word oeuvre, you reach for your sleeping pills or something. I don't look at my books in a totality. I think of them as individuals, and some of them I like more than others, but I'm very happy to accept the prize for this book. Yes.
Sorry, I didn't catch that.
Just a two-part thing. One, has the sort of rather violent criticism of the prize this year overshadowed the experience for you, or made you reflect on some of its issues?
Not really, because I don't, well, you see, I sort of have come to the point in my career where I don't read my reviews, and then by extension I don't read stuff about the Booker Prize. So I'm sort of aware that it's been going on, but I haven't really, I've tried not to let it affect me.
Well, it chimes with quite a lot of what you wrote about in 1987 in the NRB piece, when you did talk about judging the judges by sort of studying, reflecting on their psychology. So it's sort of a lot of what's...
Yes, that's true. I think if you're looking at the Booker Prize and trying to guess who might be the winner, you should look at the judges rather than the books. That's always been my approach when I haven't had a book published that year and I've been deciding on who to bet on. If you had a different 6 judges any year, you'd probably get a different winner.
Or if you only had one judge, you'd get the two.
Yes. So, to that extent, when I think the lottery aspect of it is objectively true, in that you sit down and you write a novel, and while you're writing that novel, 138 or more other competent novelists around the world are also writing their novels, and you don't know who they are, or whether they're going to be much better than yours or much worse, and then you have no idea who the Booker judge is going to be. Thankfully, otherwise people might start sort of customizing their novels towards the Booker Prize. And so, who else publishes what in that year and who the book judges turn out to be is a hazard that you have no control over.
So you'd stand by your statement that it's like Schindler?
Well, I would, without sounding like a self-correcting politician, I'll explain what I said in the context of what I said, which was that the Booker Prize back then, I was writing in 1985, and I don't think it's changed much, has a tendency to drive people a bit mad. And that includes, perhaps we won't go into the other people who it drives mad, but writers it tends to drive mad, with hope and lust and greed and expectation. And I was saying that the best way to stay sane is to treat it as if it's posh bingo. And then when asked to explain it subsequently, I said, that means unless and until you win it, when you realise that the judges are the wisest heads in literary Christendom.
Thank you. Okay, question there.
Mike Collett-White from Reuters. I may be wrong, but did you use the word quite relieved in your acceptance speech? Is there a sense of relief which therefore you could perhaps interpret that as you sort of having worried about it over the last 20, 25 years.
I was relieved, yes, because I mean, I've been shortlisted, this is the fourth time I've been shortlisted, and I didn't want to go to my grave and get a beryl, as it were. that was not what I thought would be a good end to my life. And also, the way the event sort of builds, as I've known from previous occasions, is that you feel responsible to those on your table. There are people who've published you and who've sold you and have worked for your book to make it better. And you feel that you mustn't let them down. So that's a strong element of the sense of relief I felt. But yes, also personal. There's a personal thing. Yeah.
Who's next? Yes, from the front row.
I need to set the BBC Radio 5 Live.
Yeah.
Is the sense of an end, in any way, the sense of a new beginning, and where will you be next in your career?
Yeah, my next novel is called The Sense of a New Beginning. No, it's not. It doesn't refer. It just refers internally to the book. It doesn't refer to anything more widely than that. Okay. I think you ought to ask Dame Stella a question.
No thanks, Dame Stella's getting a bit tired.
Yeah. Jerk her out of her stupor.
Just dozing off. Yeah.
Yes, there's one.
Okay. So one of you. Yes, Louise.
You mentioned that when you did the book and looked at what you would do if you were betting. Does that mean you are a betting man? And did you actually have a bet on yourself tonight? And also, what are you going to spend money on?
I am a betting man on the Grand National and the Booker Prize when I can get good odds. But the days when you could put a fiver on Salman Rushdie at 14-1 for Midnight's Children, I'm afraid are long gone. I did bet 50 quid on Beryl the last time she and I coincided, but neither of us won, clearly. I was thinking, actually, I do need a new watch strap because my watch is about to fall off its strap, so that's what my first purchase would be.
You could go for a very, very
I could buy a
fine
new
one.
watch.
I
could buy a whole new watch.
Well, it just shows you the Booker Prize having become the Man Booker Prize, what it's done could do for you as well. Next question. Neil.
Yeah, Neil Denny from the Bookseller. Aside from Stella Rimington, the winner, I mean, Barnes, McEwen, Rushdie, Martin Amos has never won the Booker. Do you think that looks an unusual omission now, tonight?
I certainly think he's written some terrific books in the past, yes. I can't remember what he was shortlisted for and what he wasn't, but I mean, if I'd been a judge, I would have put Money and London Fields certainly on the shortlist, and then argued their toss. I think he was he shortlisted? The Times Arrow.
Yes, that's what the only one.
Yes, yes.
Next question. Yes.
Jonathan Gary from the Paris Review. You mentioned Kirby Fitzgerald in the speech. Are you glad that you're joining her company for the second time now?
Well, yes, I'm an enormous admirer of her. And one of the ironies of Fitzgerald and the Booker Prize is that she wrote 4 great books at the end of her life. Her last 4 books are 4 of the greatest post-war English British novels, and I think she was shortlisted for maybe 2 of them. But she actually won much earlier for Offshore, and well, I would have given it her 4 times for the last 4 books myself. I mean, Innocence, Beginning of Spring, Gate of Angels, and Blue Flower are all magnificent novels, and every working novelist can learn from them. Yes.
Ben from the Times again.
Yes.
Do you agree with Dame Stella that many of our literary critics are not as original as they could be, and that perhaps a really meaningful contribution would be for them to try and think of something new to say about the book of books? It's quite a punchy speech for
Do I agree with you?
I didn't know whether you agree with me.
Actually, this evening I'm prepared to agree with Dame Stella on everything. I mean, you read the book's pages, and sometimes they inform, and sometimes they enlighten, sometimes they irritate. I don't think I mean, I think the book's pages are slenderer than they used to be in the old days, and I think that that's regrettable. Though my newspaper of choice, The Guardian, keeps up very good arts and books coverage. I'm prepared to put in a word for them tonight.
Thank you. Well, there
The
you are.
Guardian, yes. What do I think of your arts and books coverage? Very good.
Now, you mentioned Penelope Fitzgerald, and of course she won for a shorter book than yours. I mean, what do you say to people who just say they could have read more of your novel? It's just a bit too short.
Well, it is a short novel. I'd say it's a concise novel. I couldn't make it any shorter, and I don't think I could make it any longer. And it is, after all, a novel about not knowing things, about what you can't know and what it's too late to find out. And therefore, I think it makes sense that the form is short and the manner elliptical. If it was a novel about finding out lots of stuff rather than not finding out lots of stuff, then I would have made it longer, doubtless. A number of readers have already told me that as soon as they got to page 150, they went back to the beginning and started again. So I now regard it as a 300-page novel, and very cheap at £12.99.
Any more? Yes.
Mike from Reuters, going
Yes.
back to paraphrase Ben from Times a bit earlier, and just to simplify it, what do you think your best novel is?
Depends which side of bed I get out. It's not something that it's the one I'm about to write, or it's the one I've just finished. It's usually like, if I thought I had written my best novel already, that'd be a bit depressing. I mean, maybe I have, objectively. I'm very attached to Flaubert's Parrot because that was what in publishing jargon is called my breakout or breakthrough or breakout book or something. I think about them in different ways. They have different sort of weights and colours in my mind, and if anyone says they didn't like a particular book, then I like it the more. So there's a sort of perversity about it. So I'm not a reliable judge of my own books.
Last question, I think, please.
It's Eleanor Harding from the Daily Mail.
Yes, hello.
Dame Stella said she hoped that this year's prize would raise the question of what is a good novel. In your mind, what do you think a good novel should be in the modern age?
I have no answer for you. I mean, I could gabble on about truth and form and originality and truth to life and all that sort of stuff. But I think it's too late for me to come up with a definition of a novel. But you could read mine and you'll get a lot of the answers.
Thank you very much. Thank you all for coming. Thank you, Julian, very much indeed.